when I saw like one of the closers say, "Hey, yeah, we closed this guy for 10K," and that clicked for me.
Jason, how's it going, man? I'm super excited to have you here on the interview. I know you've been having some incredible results selling on the offer that you're on right now. I know you joined us in the Modern SDR probably about a year and a half ago, I think. But yeah, dude, would love
Yeah.
to hear your story. Love to hear kind of your experience, working with us, but now, selling as well. But I'll let you take the stage. You can just tell people about you. And yeah, dude, thank you.
Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, Kiko. So yeah, a little about me. I was born in Costa Rica, and I work at Amazon, a regular 9 to 5 job. And yeah, like once I found the modern SDR, it it clicked for me because since in Amazon I work in customer service, I'm like, hey, I'm talking to people every day. So why not use it to get a higher paying job and to develop my skills a lot more. So yeah, I mean, the journey with the modern SDR has been great here. It's I learned a lot from you, from the trainer, the coaches. I got a lot of feedback. I even found accountability partners, which helped me impulse my career in sales. And thanks to that, like I've been living the life, honestly. Like I'm scuba diving once or twice a month, which honestly seems so far away. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna scuba dive once or twice a year or something like that.
Yeah.
But with how it's going with the new job and all that, it's been amazing.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's been really cool seeing you post the wins and the student channels and everything like that. So I'm really happy that we're able to connect and kind of go deeper on this, dude. But yeah, man, I'd love to hear, before kind of joining Modern SDR, how did you really find out about this opportunity? What even got you kind of interested in sales in the first place? And then what kind of, made you take that leap to, get started?
Yeah, so popped up like on Instagram. I don't know if it was like an ad or just a story there. And what you said made a lot of sense to me. Uh, I'm trying to remember what it was specifically, but I think it had something to do with the 9 to 5,
Sure.
you know, and finding your own freedom. And, and yeah, I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. I just commented. I got some text here, and I just joined the Zoom call. And I remember that the person who I got on the call with was Patrick,
Nice.
and he got me self-reflecting on a lot of things, even on
Yeah.
my own strengths when it came to it, because I mentioned about customer service. Like that honestly didn't click when I saw the ad. It clicked until I started talking with Patrick, and I'm like, yeah, like I speak with thousands of people every day, or hundreds of people every day, and why not do that? In something better, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I think sales, especially if you're already talking with people all the time, right? If you have that emotional intelligence, you have empathy towards people, that's a big, benefit when it comes to selling, right? Kind of touch
Yeah,
on
I
that.
agree. And because
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, because like I used to be a supervisor,
sure.
so you know how that position is. Like that call is like when you say I want to speak with their supervisor, you're pissed already.
100%. Yeah,
Exactly. So I think that was something that he helped me realize.
yeah,
Like, and you mentioned the emotional intelligence part. So yeah, like I can be calm even though the guy was super pissed or whatever, right? So it doesn't matter how they react to me. I know how to keep myself cool in that type of situations. So that's something that also clicked with me.
no, that's awesome, man. Yeah, kind of touch on that. Like, I'd love to hear kind of, the strengths that you felt, that you had that kind of aligned with, starting to sell and whatnot. But maybe any weaknesses too. Like, what were kind of some of your hesitations that you might have had before jumping into this? Because I know, sales can be scary for a lot of people too. So I'd love to hear both the strengths and, the weaknesses that you kind of were pondering in your mind before making that, you know, leap.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like before everything, hesitations were I think what a lot of people hesitate about, like, is this gonna work? Like, is this actually gonna help me out? Things
Yeah,
like that. So that little voice inside the head was always there.
100%.
And yeah, I'm glad that I was able to quiet that voice and actually just listen to my instincts on it. And with every new job, right? Or new thing that you're gonna jump into. Like I was like, man, am I gonna actually be good at this?
Yeah,
And you never know until you try.
for
So
sure.
so I just took the dive.
Yeah. So I think that's a really good thing that you bring up, right? Like you never know until you try. So, when you got started, when you decided to take the leap, when did it start to click for you? Because I know when we started, our chat here, you were like, something just clicked. So what was kind of that moment where you're like, wow, this could actually be, something where I could actually make really good money. I could, be able to have the freedom to scuba dive and travel and do more things in Costa Rica. Like, what was that kind of turning point for you?
My turning point started when I got my first set. So when I saw like one of the closers say, "Hey, yeah, we closed this guy for 10K," and and that clicked for me. Like I'm like, I can't believe that just one call could get me so much,
Yeah,
you know?
that's crazy.
And
Yeah,
that was crazy. Like that was the point where I'm like, it's just one call, and um, I was like, I think that that's what I make in a week or something. Like one call got me paid, what I do in a week.
yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
wild.
that was the turning point for me.
No, that's cool, man. I love that. So, for some of the people that might be watching this video, right? Maybe they're, not really familiar with sales, and they're still kind of learning about this. So kind of go over like what kind of your day to day looks like what do you kind of do to communicate with the closers, for people, just so you guys know who are watching this, right? There's setters, there's closers. We have like remote triaging, which is kind of moving people over from just finding out about, the product or service and then booking them into a sales call. So kind of go over your role of what you do and kind of what a daily life looks like. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. So I started my day by checking who is booked for today,
yeah,
and I'll go through the calls. Like if I've already called them and qualified them and made sure that they
yeah,
show up for the appointment, I might just send a reminder just in case, or just leave it to the automation.
yeah.
And if not, whoever hasn't picked up the past few days that I've been trying, or whoever booked in that is new, I'll go and prioritize them and give them a call.
That's awesome.
Then I'll go with the next leads, which are the ones for tomorrow, the day after, a week from now, or so on and so forth.
Yeah,
And make those calls. And we like, and I'll also check from time to time the conversations that that they send. Maybe they send an email or they sent a text. So I'll just check and see if anybody wrote to me like saying, "Hey, you can call me now," or you know what, call me 2 hours from now, 4 p.m., whatever it is, right? And closer side, the way I communicate them is it's very simple. It's just like, for example, if I need to reschedule someone or somebody didn't show and say, hey, you know what, I'll be available tomorrow at 5 p.m. I would just reach out to the closers and ask them like, hey, does this work for you? And sometimes they'll actually give me feedback, which is amazing, right? And I'm like, you know what, this is awesome. Like to hear what they have to say about me, what I could improve on as well. I will sometimes ask them like, hey, okay, any tips for me, what I could have done better, things like
nice.
that.
No, that's great.
Yeah. And end of day, it's I just fill out a report with the amount of DAOs that I've done, how many people I set for the day, and add information
Yeah,
about them.
no, that's cool, man. Cool. So I love some feedback on this too, because my parents were skeptical when I first started in this whole online world, right? I've talked to a ton of our students even, right, who have family members or friends that are like, hey, hey John, hey Sally, like is this the best thing for you to be doing? So maybe like, did you have friends or family that were kind of like Jason, like what's really happening? Like why did you join this program? Like did you have kind of doubters when you first got started with this, or what did that kind of look like?
Mm, I didn't, but that's because I kept it a secret
Oh, okay.
from everyone. Like I didn't want to just shout it out and say, guys, I got this new skill. I'm gonna develop this new skill, which will get me 10K a month. Like I just kept it a secret.
Okay. Yeah, super
And
fun.
then so I could just show them here are
Yeah.
the results that I
Okay.
got.
Yeah. And now, I mean, like with your friends or family seeing the results, like, or I'm not sure if you're still keeping it a secret, but what have you kind of noticed that's different, now that you're having results and things are coming in?
Oh yeah, like I have shown it to some of my friends, my sister mainly. Like she's seen the numbers and she's been impressed
Yeah.
by how much I could get in just 1 week.
Yeah.
And the
Amazing.
thing is, I'm saying 1 week, and I only work like 2, 3 hours a day,
Really?
honestly. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that's all I've been doing, like 2, 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
And, and yeah, she's impressed. She's jealous as well when she sees the results.
Yeah.
But she always supports me. So that's also always cool of her. Like no
That's
matter what.
that's amazing. I believe you mentioned too that they were increasing your commissions now, so you're actually making more money. Like, what does that kind of look like?
Oh, that was a game. That was a huge change. That was a huge change for me. Like I was already doing good in commissions,
Yeah.
But after seeing the most recent pay, I'm doing great. Like I would dare say like I've doubled my current 9 to 5 salary when it
Wow.
comes to.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Um, Super cool. I love that. So, what's kind of the plan next for you? Like, are you gonna stay in Costa Rica like long term? Are you just gonna keep scuba diving? Like, what's the next plan with sales? Like, are you looking to ascend into a closing position? Like, I'd love to hear kind of the next steps for you, man.
Okay, yeah. Right now, like the next steps are keep on building that
Yeah,
um, my savings, and I want to start building. Like I've always been really interested in real estate because my father is a landlord.
nice.
So that was like part of the influence that I've had. And I'm already ready to like start building whether it's apartments or get a house near the beach so that
Sure.
I could also use it and rent it to my scuba diving friends.
Yeah,
And so I would like, yeah, my next step is moving to the real estate part,
that's awesome.
which honestly sales has been huge, so huge. And because sales, I see it like a life skill,
Yeah.
not just for a job, like no
How
matter
so?
what you do. So every time you're communicating, it's you're kind of like selling. For example, like in a job interview, if when you're gonna get a new job, you're you're actually selling yourself to that company. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like so you're always selling something in the end. And same with like real estate. If I want to get people to rent my apartment, I have to sell them that apartment
Yeah.
and sell them that that is their next dream house.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So I guess for you, man, like what was kind of the reason to start sales first before going into real estate? Because I see a lot of people online, they're like, hey, I want to start this business, hey, I want to start, real estate wholesaling. I want to do all these things. But what I feel like, and this is what I kind of came to the realization too, because like when I first started, I was trying to start a business, or I was trying to learn 20, 30 different skills. But then I realized that, wow, sales is like the groundworks to like everything. Because then if I want to do real estate or, want to start a business or whatever it is at some point, well, it's like sales is what I need. And that's like the roots to the tree, right?
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear kind of your thoughts on like, the reasoning behind starting sales first and then maybe using that cash flow or the profits there to invest in real estate.
Yeah. So I would say it's mainly the initial investment
Sure.
part because before sales, I was doing a lot of options trading.
Yeah.
I really like it. I really like it. But the thing is, if you don't have capital, you can't trade a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And when it comes to sales, you don't need like you just start with your skills. Like
Yeah.
you don't need to invest something to like real estate, right? You don't need to invest a ton of money. You need actually a ton of money to actually buy those houses or build those houses, whatever you want to do. As I just mentioned, trading as well. You need a lot of money to actually be able to
Smart.
trade option calls or option puts.
Yeah.
But with sales, it's not like that. Like
Yeah.
you just find a high ticket offer and just work on it. Just
Yeah.
work on your skills, tonality, everything
Yeah.
to just talk to the prospects, and
Yeah.
be be able to get to that level where you can
Yeah.
just sell.
No, that's huge, man. Yeah, so to kind of go off that too, and once again, I appreciate you coming on and speaking on this. Our team also talks to a lot of people that are like, hey, I know how to sell, or hey, I don't want to pay for a job, right? Because essentially, right, like they're selling for a company. Like I kind of see it as, hey, you're essentially kind of like your own company within their company, right? Because you're
Uh,
like, I mean, if you make 10% commission, you might be taking 30% of the profits from the company. Like that's a pretty massive thing that you're making, right? So.
yeah,
I guess for you, man, like learning something like sales from, either like the coaches in Modern SDR, even just like role playing with other, community members, how has that, impacted your success specifically, if you don't mind on speaking on that?
yeah. That that is like for me very important to do, no matter what. You might be shy, you might not want people to see your face or watch your failures, but doing mock calls was what helped me. Even the coaches calling me out just to do a mock call with them in a meeting with 20 people or more, right? When it
That's
comes
crazy.
to like, it is crazy. Exactly. Like you feel it. You feel the pressure,
There's
but
definitely a pit. There's a pit in your stomach.
there's,
I get
it is like, I'm like, oh man, please don't call me. But at the same time, like, please
it.
call me as well to see how much I've improved.
Yeah.
when, and, and it's a great, like, like even though you did bad, just getting that live feedback has helped me improve a lot.
That's awesome.
And feedback from you, from the coaches, whenever I would post my videos, that has been great as well. Like, and it is very important to do like these daily mocks with hopefully with different people.
Yeah.
Grab 5, 6 different people because you'll get used to. you'll see the differences in everybody, personality wise, or the type of personality they'll play when it comes to it, and the types of objections that they might even throw at you.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wanted to actually pull up the mocks. It was funny because I was reviewing I was reviewing this and saw your own win in there. So this was all in 1 week. Like this was all like these deals all closed, or these are like within a day.
These are within, yeah, you could say so, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's awesome. Um, but yeah, so I mean, to kind of go off your point, right? Like, a lot of students they're kind of role playing in. So were you posting these as well, kind of in the community too, or how did that look when you were posting your mock calls?
Yeah, I was posting pretty much almost daily
Yeah,
with these mock calls and with different different members of the team, and that was great because I would everybody had something to do. Everybody played a different character, which is
yeah.
amazing. And the feedback, like for example, Alex always would give amazing feedback that would help me
He's got you. He's got you.
just skyrocket.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. So I guess when you were implementing that feedback, like what kind of tidbits of value can you give to whoever's watching this video right now, that helped you when you were first starting out with sales? Like, was it certain questions that you asked? Was it listening on certain key points? Like, I'd love to hear kind of your thoughts on that. Yeah,
Yeah, tonality is very important.
tonality. Wow.
Tonality, yeah, that was like people would say at the beginning I didn't sound like myself when I was doing the mock calls. I was like maybe trying to be too professional or something like that. So that would sometimes kill it. And that
Yeah.
actually, when I was taking live calls, that actually affected it. That was something I was still improving on.
Wow.
But getting that feedback made me conscient and say, yeah, you know what? I actually have to improve my tonality when it comes to it. Because you can get a script, right?
Yeah.
Even though you don't memorize a script, or even if you have it in front of you, just the way you say it helps a lot.
Yeah.
And that's what helped me a lot when starting with you know with my first company.
Yeah. No, dude, I think that's a really great point you bring up. I think, a lot of people they just try to memorize the script word for word and they're not thinking about the way we're saying it, right? Or we're just asking the questions that are on the script, but we're not actively listening, right? So
Yep.
I think it's so important, right, to be able to practice on those mock calls, right? As we saw in the community there, where you can practice your tonality, right? You have the coaches to help with, hey, let's say it with a lighter tone or, a more
Uh,
strict, hey, this is what it is, you know? Um, so that's a great point you bring up, man. And thank you for sharing. Um, cool. So I guess for kind of one or two last questions here. Let's say that, someone's watching this video, they're on the fence of, joining, yourself, the rest of the students inside the Modern SDR. I think we just passed like 1,800 people in the whole program. I think there's probably, 400 or 500 in Modern SDR specifically. But what would be kind of some, words of advice if, there's maybe some fear holding them back, maybe they're nervous about selling for the first time, maybe more introverted. Like, I'd love any, thoughts or words of encouragement that you might have.
yeah. I think something good that I just recently learned about is the 5 second rule. Like just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and do it. This way you don't have time to overthink it. Like you won't entertain that voice inside your head of saying, will I do good on this call? Will I be able to set them? Will I be able to, get this commission? And just quiet that voice down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just go. Just take
Yeah,
action.
I love that, man. Cool. Um, but yeah, dude, I guess do you have any parting remarks or where people can follow you or on social media or yeah, like have you got anything?
Um, well, yeah. It's gonna be hard to find me on social media. Well, I have Instagram, but I'm gonna pronounce it as it is in Mandarin. It is written in English, but it's Jason TS, where you can find me in all my scuba diving adventures.
Amazing. Cool. I'll make sure to leave a link if you actually send me the send me the Instagram handle. Yeah, we can do that.
Awesome, thanks.
Well, cool, Jason, dude. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. If you're watching this, if you watched all the way to the end, hope you enjoyed and hope you got some great stuff from Jason's story. And Jason, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Kiko.
Cheers.
Cheers.